Hello, so going off the last video that I made regarding how these substances can increase our spiritual awareness if we use them in the correct way as tools to do this, which is what they're here for. Because you have to remember that Mother Nature is here and it's our mother, and the earth created us, and everything on the earth is here for us. Every natural substance, some substances are not natural, but they tweaked in a way that it can still help us by using the natural substances of the earth. And the majority of these drugs and these substances are not as dangerous as what the governments and the powers that be make out as if they are. And the reason for this is because the government and the powers that be don't want us to awaken in the correct way, okay? They want us to stay dumbed down. So what I'm going to talk about in this video is how I think this is working with the substances and how they can improve your life and how to use them in the correct way. So what I think is happening here is I think microdosing is the way forward with this. And this is the reason why, okay? So every substance I've had, I've took very small doses at first. And I've also took very large doses. Now, when you take a large dose of a substance and it shows you things that you don't normally see in normal reality, the strength of that dose shows you so much that your brain cannot keep up with it, okay? So when you stop taking the substance, you come back down to baseline normal reality, and you feel like that's not as good as the high. This is when people get addicted to these drugs, you see, because they want to experience that high, but the normal brain level is not as good as the high. So this is the problem. This is what addiction is, and this is what withdrawal is as well. Now, this is the wrong way to go about drugs and substances in general. And anybody that does this are not ready for the substance anyway, okay? They shouldn't be using it unless you're on an evolutionary level where you can use it in the right way and you know exactly the purpose you want to use it for. So this is what I've tried doing, and this is the results that I've seen so far. So with me, I take a very small amount of a substance, okay, one day. I see how it affects us, and then the next day I'll not take it, okay? I might not take it for a few days. I just start taking a little bit every 2 or 3 days, something like that, in a very small dose. So say for instance I want to take amphetamine to help my energy levels and my productivity. So what I'll do is I'll take a tiny dose of amphetamine on the morning with the coffee, and during the day I'll be very productive and I'll have this nice energetic state, and I'll feel my well-being will feel really good, okay? Now this is all well and good, but if you take a too high a dose, then you're going to have a crash, you see. You're going to come back down and you're not going to like it. If you take a very small dose for 1 or 2 days, okay, and then monitor yourself afterwards the next few days to see if you have a crash or not. Because what I've found is if you take these substances, your mind gets used to that mind frame that you're in while you're on the substance, okay? And because your mind gets used to it, your mind actually creates new pathways, new neural pathways to adapt to that substance's vibration. So when you take small doses over a period of time, your mind will actually adapt to it, okay? It'll adapt its neural pathways so that when you come off the substance, those neural pathways have been created and you stay in that state. This is what I think's happening. Now, of course, doctors and the medical industry is not going to tell you this, okay? Because they kind of want us to be ill. That's my theory on this. But either that or they just haven't done enough research, and that there's too much fear involved in these substances because of social conditioning and all the adverts used to make regarding drugs because of fear, okay? But there's a bigger agenda anyway with the governments and the drugs companies. They don't want you to know this stuff, okay? But some of these substances can help you like this. So if you're going to take these substances, I would advise doing very small doses. Allow your brain to catch up, you see, to the doses, okay? If you take too much, it's too much for your brain. Your brain's going to think, no, I'll never be able to keep up with that. Take small doses, your brain will fire up new neurons and pathways very slowly, step by step. So your brain's keeping up with the substance, okay? It's keeping up with that vibrational energy. If you do this correctly with the right substances, okay, do your research substances that do open your mind and show you new things, not very dangerous ones, such as I would say dangerous ones are things like cocaine or heroin. Things like that are very addictive, and all they do is give you more ego. You want to go for the more natural substances like magic mushrooms, cannabis, amphetamine, things like that. Amphetamine's a stimulant, but if used in the right way, it can produce neural pathways in your brain to give you more energy naturally. Okay, because the reason we get depressed and the reason we don't have energy and things like that is because neural pathways have been created in our brains to tell us that that's just the way it is. Okay, like if I get tired because I've got ME, and one of the only things that's helped with my ME is amphetamine. So with my ME, my neural pathways have told us, because they're so used to feeling tired, oh, you feel tired. So because they fire up, I feel tired, I feel lethargic. With these drugs, you can change your neural pathways so that they fire up in a different way altogether. That's the only way I can explain this, guys. But there's nothing really much more I want to say about this at the moment. This is just like a starter video regarding this. But as I'm testing this, I'll come back with more results, and I'll come back with what the best substances are for what you want to achieve in life. Okay, so for instance, the amphetamine gives you a lot of drive. Okay, it's given in for ADHD sufferers. It's called Adderall, and this is the main ingredient is amphetamine. But what I think is happening here is the doctors are prescribing people too much, okay? So they're getting addicted on it, you see, because when they come down, the brain hasn't kept up. So you have to sometimes do things illegally sometimes and take smaller doses, you see, of the pure substances in order for this to work. This is what I've found, because sometimes even the drugs companies or the doctors or whoever's in charge of administrating these drugs don't understand how the brain's working and all the dynamics behind this. It's something you have to figure out for yourself. You have to try for yourself, and eventually you'll find the right substances for you, and you'll find exactly how to use them to improve your life, rewire those brain pathways, and become that amazing, happy energy that you want to become in life naturally eventually. And that's what these things are here for. Okay, everything in this world is here for a reason. We just have to figure out what's the best thing for our brains and how to use it correctly to get the best out of it we can. So that's it for this video, guys. Please leave your comments on that if you think I'm on the right track here, and if you've experienced anything good, or you've managed to put yourself in a higher paradigm, a better reality based on these substances. Please leave a comment, and I'll be back shortly with another video. See you guys next time.